evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I am live. And as you can see, I have here some very lovely Integrity toys, folks. And I am going to actually wait a couple of minutes. Everybody hang tight, because I can't move with my microphone too much. But we are live, and hopefully some folks will pop in and join us in a second. I just need to go get the cards so I get the names right. So hang tight, folks. I will be right back. Oops, nobody's here. Oh boy. We had someone and now they are gone. Oh well. I am back. Let's see. Well, I figured I'd do the ladies first because I figure if anybody does come, they're going to want to see they're gonna want me to do Thiago, so I'm going to start off actually with the ladies. So let me start off with the Meteor, which I will do in a second. I just want to get her name right because I know I'm about to say it wrong. All right, so we're gonna start with Naviafam. We are fam, so we are gonna start with Naviafam. So let me go ahead and move her toward the front and move Thiago back a bit. I really don't like Thiago's stand, so I think he's gonna take a nap for a minute while we focus on Navia. All right, so here's Navia. She is there we go. So this is Naviafam. This now in terms of recent. She actually came out in the fall, so she's not that recent of a doll, but she is the newest addition to the Integrity Toys family. She is a Meteor. She is, I believe, their first Vietnamese doll, or the first of the Vietnamese extraction. She is dressed in the Roaring 20s ensemble, and you can actually see a little bit of that in a couple of places. You see it, first of all, in her earring. And I will come a little bit closer with the camera so you can see that. The earring is in what's called the Art Deco design, which is really more the late 20s, early 30s than the Roaring 20s, because the Roaring 20s were before the Depression, and the Art Deco was kind of like after the Depression. But it's a lovely earring, and you also see it, by the way, in her hairdo, which has incredibly a lot of product in it. So it's a product-heavy doll. But if you turn this around, you can see she's got, I'll pull this back. She's got a very short haircut. It comes maybe mid-neck, This whole thing, the razor cut is at the bottom here. The tight curls, which I will turn back to in a second. Mucho product. It's almost, I almost want to say it's a helmet. So if you want to redo this hair, which I don't recommend, not because I don't think it's fully rooted, but because the curls are just so nice. And as I said, her earring is in the Art Deco style, which is nice, and it follows the colors of the dress. It has the purple that matches the bodysuit, and it has the fuchsia pink of the bodice, the main part of the dress. By the way, this is usually when you cut the strings off on the back of the dress, it's not that big of a deal because the dress will stay up anyway. But the way that this dress is constructed, which is period accurate, it is a little tricky. So you might want to leave her dressed, and you definitely want to leave the strings on in the back so the dress falls as it should. This purple is This purple is a bodysuit. It is solid purple, and then again over it you have this Merlot flapper dress, which is the right length for flappers. I'm not sure if it's period accurate to have her without stockings, but it works. Just fix the bodice a little bit. And if you notice at the top of the shoulders, as if to adjust the straps, not address the straps, but adjust them, you have this faux fuchsia. I guess it's almost like to adjust. Yeah, in fact you can adjust the straps, but if you do that, then they disappear to the back of the dress, so you lose the effect. So, but let's leave that for a second, and I'll push it back. You also get with her you get 3 bracelets, and the bracelets are not anything earth-shattering. They're not a new pattern for integrity. You have the sort of floral pattern that we've seen many times. In silver, you have the fuchsia, which is matching, or the hot pink that matches the earrings. I chose to put it together like that, and then you also have, and I will, oh, you know what, since we're here, let's take a look at her nails. There are 2 sets of hands. I'll pick up the second set in a second, but these are the longer nails, the pokey nails, the flat hands with very long nails. Which, by the way, would make it very difficult to put her gloves on. Hold that thought. Let's take a look at the ring. The ring is a solid amethyst cocktail. It is a classic style. It's a solitaire cut. It's a classic style. It's not necessarily period to the Roaring 20s. And as I said, I am going to pick up and show you the 2 hands, which are more for gripping. And if you notice, and perhaps more appropriately for dialing, they are also shorter nailed. But the color is going to match the fuchsia pink. Now let's get to the part that everybody wants to see. Let's go ahead and take a look at her face. The lips are going to match the color of her dress. It is that Merlot. It's more Merlot than fuchsia. It matches the dress perfectly. Her eyes are lined in black, and the eyeshadow at the very, very top and around the edges of the eye is a lavender, and the upper lid is a darker purple, as you can see. And her eyes are, I would say, a combination of gray and brown. There is blush, and her eyelashes are real. And for a Meteor, they are quite long. I haven't seen lashes this long on an IT doll in a while. If you notice, they both go over the brim of her nose, so they are quite long. I do love the face paint. And I'll tell you why I love it, for 2 reasons. I love it because there is a genuine effort to make that difference between her being Chinese, Japanese, and Vietnamese. So she definitely has the more Vietnamese sculpt to her. And I also just generally like lavender eye makeup. That's what I usually wear. As I said, the longer nails are going to be tricky because these are the gloves. They are netted gloves. I'm not going to try putting them on. It will just make everybody cry. The shoes are also really, really nice. It appears we have a guest, mystery guest. Please sign in. Um, I'm just finishing up talking about Navia. So, mystery guest, if you would please sign in and introduce yourself. Um, Navia's shoes are very interesting because the back of them, which is the first time I've seen this, the back of them have a shell pattern that mimics the earrings a little bit, but is a much more defined a shell pattern. It actually covers up a bit of the heel. And if you also notice, the shells have that detailing. Hey, Bill, how are you? The shells have the detailing of a fuchsia gemstone. So I thought that's very interesting that they have that jewel. And it is a sateen stiletto heel that also has a little bit of that lift at the sole. So you have the lift at the sole, you have the stiletto heel. The straps were not terribly hard to put on for a change. Hallelujah. So that was kind of cool. She does not come with a purse, but she does come with this very interesting hat. And the hat is interesting for a couple of reasons. I think it's supposed to stay on her, or it should stay on her without a pin. There she is with the hat on. The hat is interesting because this, brothers and sisters, is the first time I've ever seen them do a hat that is made out of plastic. If you take the netting off, this is plastic. I have never seen them do this before. It's supposed to be a leaf, so it's supposed to have that Garden of Eden plush neoclassical effect. But again, it's plastic. I have never seen them do a plastic hat before. I'm not entirely sure that I love it, so I won't be sad if they never do it again. But it is an interesting look to see that done. To complete her ensemble, we have a beverage. It's supposed to be a martini, but I think this is definitely not Roaring Twenties. Um, Good call. I'm going to go closer to the Anime Wong because Anime Wong was definitely the swinging 20s. Also, interesting that you say anime because who just did a sculpt of anime? Anime has been done by Mizi Dolls. So this could be a little nod to the competition to say, hey, we see you. Here's our version of anime. And as I was just quickly saying, this appears to be some kind of cosmopolitan with blueberries in it. The blueberries do not come out. The Cosmo is definitely solid in one space. So I literally have no idea why I literally have no idea why they gave her a Cosmo when they could have done something else. While I'm talking, let's go ahead and move into frame the reigning queen, Adele. You can see that I have her covered up for dramatic effect. This whole ensemble is off the charts. She is. I mean, everything about this is off the charts. Let's talk first about her cape, her drape, her coat. Very rarely do you see this level of detailing on an Integrity Toys coat, or they've never really done capes. So if this is their first attempt at a cape, it is off the charts. This is called Divining Beauty, and you have the divining bird in here. You have the fleur de lis embroidery. It is not. It is a coincidence in one sense. It is a coincidence in one sense that this is um, various shades of purple and fuchsia, because the NuFace and the Meteor I don't think are supposed to be combined this way. But this embroidery goes all the way up on the sides, and I'll show you the back in a second. I just also want to take this quick opportunity to show you that it is lined in purple lining, in keeping with an early decrying of the idea to actually have fur in an Integrity Toys doll. The decision was made a long time ago that they only use fake fur. So if that's a concern for anybody, this is fakety fake. It's fake. So here you have the rest of the cape. You obviously have this full shawl collar on top. Whoa, well, you will see it as soon as I get my hands out of the way. You have this full shawl collar on top, and it's not a trick of the camera. There is different color fur in here. There's a solid royal blue band here. There's darker pinks. There's a lighter pink. So it's all coming together to give certain highlights to this long robe, cape, drape. And as you can see, it does extend what I would guess would be the equivalent of 1.5, 2 feet if this was a real person behind Adele. And again, the embroidery goes all the way through to the back. So this is, whoever was in charge of creating this, I cannot even begin to imagine how many like test patterns they had to do to pull this off, because this is off the charts stunning. Unfortunately, in turning her around, her necklace came off. So let me see if I can very quickly, you know what I'm going to do before I make myself crazy? I'm going to take the cape off, and I'm going to put the necklace on, and I'm going to turn her around again, and we will talk about the rest of this ensemble. Let us pray. Dear God in heaven, please let me have an easy time putting this necklace back on, because as we all know, putting necklaces on the IT dolls is always dramatic. Amen. So we pause while the person with stubby fingers tries to get this necklace on without breaking the necklace, which has been known to happen in my life. And I'm not going to chance it, so we're going to go and do this. I'm going to put her back on the stand. We're going to move her forward, because there's still plenty to talk about here. So let's again, well, since I had to take it off, let's just talk very quickly about her necklace. There's an interesting thing going on here with the jewelry. The jewelry is not going to follow the traditional Integrity Toys model. That is to say that even though it looks darker while I'm holding it, this is actually clear. And it's not a particularly strong cut of rhinestone either, but you're supposed to understand these are rhinestones. And then you have the gold beading of the necklace on either side. The earrings function in the same way. That is to say that the earrings also have the clear stone. And instead of it being a pear shape, the earrings actually are, as you can see, sort of a cross between a star and a ship's driving wheel. So it's kind of a steering wheel. So it's kind of got like that half ship steering wheel, half star motif, and it's a dangle earring. And she comes with, and again, the bracelets are not anything particularly new to IT. These are the same. We've seen these patterns, and I'm just saying this because this is what they have to do. They have molds. You have the fleur de lis mold. You have the small mold with the tiny rhinestones, and then you have the bangle, which can have all sorts of different clear stones in it. The other side is the statement bracelet. And what do I mean by that? It is the statement because, again, the gold pattern on the statement bracelet has the same pounded gold or beaded gold as the necklace. It is also a clear stone. And then I paired it with yet another fleur de lis bracelet. So really, these are, the bracelets are presentation pieces, but they're not any, I mean, on the one hand, they're just gorgeous together, but it's not a breakout new pattern. And if you can see, I'll come over here and show you maybe perhaps a little bit better. Her nails are going to match her dress. That is nothing new. These are shorter nails. She does not come with gloves. She doesn't need to. I mean, the cape itself would cover any gloves anyway. The flat hands, and perhaps this is now going to be their pattern, the flat hands have the same nail polish, and these are the slightly longer nails, but they are not as long, as pointy, and as painful as Navia's nails. Let's take a look at her shoes, too. We'll walk our way back up. Don't worry. I know I have to do her face. Let's walk up. Let's show you her boots. These, by the way, are the heaviest boots I have ever held in my hand. And I've been collecting Integrity toys from the beginning. These are the heaviest boots they have ever made. This piece, if it is not, this front piece here, if this is not metal, I would like to know what the imitation metal is. Because it is very, very, very heavy. And thank God they didn't even try with like a lace up in the back. It's the zippers. The heel is high, but it's not a stiletto. And it is a metallic gold all the way through the bottom with the additional lift at the ball of the feet. So this is a pretty impressive boot. It is not a boot that it's not a boot that you're going to mix and match too often with other figures, because that's big for me. What can you do? How often can you mix and match these figures? It's not going to be that. This is not one that you can mix and match. Let's talk about the dress. Obviously, there's a slit, so you can enjoy the boots. It goes all the way up to the hip joint. There is draping and ruching at the breast and at the waist. It also a little bit of pleating, a little bit of gathering just below the waist. It is lined in purple suiting. Not quite the same suiting as the cape. This suiting has, I would say, a little less sheen to it than the one with the cape, because the cape has a lot of sheen and a lot of reflective power. The dress and the cape does close with hook and eye, but it's very easy and frankly probably a much better idea for your sanity just to lift it on and off. And the dress is also going to close in hook and eye. And for once, oh no, never mind. She's got on a darker purple. I thought we were actually going to get away with this, that they weren't going to do underwear, but no, there's a darker purple underwear underneath. And the dress also has a train, but it's not as long as the cape. But if you notice also, there's a dramatic cut here in the back as you put the pieces of the skirt together. The seaming is it comes to a very tight point. And I think partially because of what happened with Navia, I did not cut the strap on her dress. Let's take a look now. And I've kept it in the knitting this long because I wanted to keep it as pristine as possible because I know there was some issues with it to some people. This is the hair, of which she has a lot. A lot. She has got some serious curl action going on here. There doesn't appear to be product in it. It is, I'll take the camera in closer. It is braided. Oops. It is braided where the curls start. So I'm not sure rooting wise how this would work if you were to take her out. Some people would want to fuss with this. I can see already on one side it's a little bit flatter. Now, I don't know if this is just because I have to adjust the curls, but right back over here, there's like a little bit of flatness. I don't think that's a rooting issue. I think that's just me having to play with the curls, which Adele does not want me to do because she's fainting at even the mere suggestion of me playing with her curls. So I will not. I will, however, talk about and bring this in closer to talk about her paint. Her eyebrows are drawn on. She does have real lashes. Hold that thought. There's very little in terms of eyeshadow, which is a surprise. You would think they would do a little bit of purple in the eyes. They don't. It's actually like a terracotta. There's almost like there's a black lining around her eyes, and then there's almost like a terracotta. There's like a terracotta around her eyes, which I thought was very interesting and surprising. I like it. I mean, I don't dislike it. I just think it's a surprise that it's terracotta. And then her lips are a matte purple mauve. So there really is not, the idea is not to pay attention to her face. The idea is to pay attention to her hair, hello, and to pay attention to that which I'm going to put back on her, the Amazeballs cape. So this is even though there is jewelry, you are really not supposed to be paying attention even to the jewelry. I think it's really about, honestly, as it should be, I think it's really about this cape. And again, as it should be. The hair is nice. I've never seen them do curls like this, so I don't know what you would do if you try to unpack it, or if you decide to unpack it. So let's go ahead now. There's one final. She does come with a purse. And this is where I said things get interesting with the color, because this is the only pop of green anywhere in her ensemble. It's not in the shoes. It's not in the cape. It's not in the dress. It's not in her eyes. It's nowhere. It's a tiny little clutch. The dangers of going live. Yes, I'm fine, in case anyone was wondering. This is a tiny little clutch purse. It does open. It has a very interesting pattern in the front. I don't know if that's supposed to be a snake or some sort of divining symbol. It's the most obvious rhinestone and the best cut of rhinestone in this ensemble. And if you're going by what we now know IT has been doing with makeup, you could probably stick a lipstick or a compact in there. So that's, or one of the phones. So that is Miss Adele. And I'm going to go, and as I was saying, and as we transition, I just want to say very quickly again, I was having trouble with the NuFace stand. I have trouble with the male stands in general. So I'm going to go ahead, and because Meteor is sort of an offshoot of NuFace, I'll show you the stand. But this is the one everybody's waiting to see. This is Thiago. So call your friends, walk the dog, tell the neighbors. Here he is. Here's Thiago. Here he is. Here's the man himself. I think the purse is a glorious addition. I agree. I do agree. The purse is fun. It's just interesting that, honestly though, it's such a pop of color. It's such a pop of color, you don't see it coming. So this is the stand, and it might be that I'm having trouble. It's supposed to be a screw that you screw it into place, but for some reason, and it's always the case with me with these, I can never get it to screw in tight enough, and it was not supporting Thiago's body. This is the NuFace base. NuFace, I guess, to show that it's the edgier line, it has the edge cut. I also know that there's been a lot of talk about his hair. So since he's the guy, we'll do the reverse. We'll start with his face and work our way down. His hair is flocked only at the very top. And I know some people were not happy with the cut of it, and I'll show you. There is a little tiny bit of unevenness. This does not faze me because I know, unless you have an anal retentive barber, you're going to have that if you go to get your hair cut. So I'm not fazed by that. I know some people did not like it. I'm not fazed by that. I also know, and they did say, they being Integrity, when I opened the box, they highly recommended that people take a push pin and redo the ear holes, and I did. And once I did that, putting the earrings in was not a problem. You have the cuff at the top, which is gold, which is with a very small pearl in it. And then you have a pearl dangle, and yes, they appear to be supposed to go into the same ear. I did not notice even the marking of, there, at least on the left side, there were the hints where the hole should go. There's nothing like that on the right. So this is definitely a one-sided piercing. And every time I say the word pierce, I always think Brosnan, and that's not where one should be going. But stay tuned this week. Pierce Brosnan will be making an appearance in the review, so stay tuned. Might even happen tonight. I'll shoot it tonight and put it up later in the week. Anyway, Thiago. Let's continue. He also has gray-brown eyes, a little more brown than gray. He does not have real lashes anywhere. These are all painted on. They look fine to me, and his lip is like a normal human shade of lip pink. That even makes sense. He does have this lovely ring on his hand. It is gold with a large pearl stone. And he also has the pearl necklace around his neck. I opened the shirt so you could see the necklace. Let's talk about the trench. I was about to say, yes, you can. You can take the trench off without taking off the flat hands. But his ring just came off, so I'll put the ring back on. I'm going to push him back a little bit so we can talk about the trench. The trench is a traditional cream color. It is not lined in suiting, but I would actually almost go so far as to say it's not lined at all, because this feels like the same material. There is some lining, but it's the same material inside and out, except that inside, obviously, you have all the seaming for the coat. It does not have an internal gentleman's pocket, which doesn't surprise me. That's something that an older gentleman would think about. There is the detailing at the shoulders, as if you could tighten the shoulders. It has this strange ribbing around the neck and the cowl. I'm not sure what that's about. There is a pocket. It's real pockets on both sides. You can put stuff in it like a phone. The back is not adjustable. The back is just the back of the trench with the split for walking. And the buckle works. It's a gold tone. I'm not going to obviously say it is gold, but it is gold toned, as are the facets for the buckle. The buttons, however, are white. The white on the pockets and the white on the front of the coat and at the cuff. None of the buttons work. This trench is only going to close with the belt. So then we have Thiago, and we have his ensemble. And I will be very honest with you, I do not understand the bodice. I just don't. I had to have a couple of people explain to me why the bodice is there. This is evidently young and hip. It's evidently young and hip to have this kind of bodice. I don't understand why. I don't get it. Not a huge fan of it. There is a belt, which I am now removing, as you can see. The belt is a purple. It is not silver. It is more, it's like a metallic lavender, but it is just that lightest shade of lavender that it almost looks silver, but it's actually lavender metallic, as is the belt buckle itself. And then we get to the bodice, which is silver, as opposed to the gray of his trousers. I know looking at the camera, the trousers look khaki. They're not. They're gray. This is silver. And, of course, the necklace is coming off, because why not? It is a very simple strand of pearl necklace, which everybody in your doll collection or your action figure collection can borrow. Every good girl and guy should have a strand of pearl necklaces, and there you go. Again, not understanding this bodice, not understanding its construction, because it does have, it's like you almost think this is going to, it would work if this was a vest, because you have, and I'll show you in a second when I close the hook and eye, you have this break here, the folding here, that you would, the collar here, it is almost like a collar. You have this collar here and you're expecting it to be higher up in a vest, but it goes here, and I don't see the point. I'm sorry. I'm not fashion forward. I don't see the point. There are again details of silver buttons this time. It's gray closer to the silver, not gray like this, gray closer to the silver of his bodice. It is lined. It is very nicely lined in gray suiting, silver suiting. Now you have the see-through. I mean, if this is, and I also don't think this is a matter of modesty. I mean, I don't see that bodice being there just for modesty's sake, because this is not an ensemble that screams, I have to be worried about modesty. This is a purple, almost lilac. It's got some sheen to it. Gauzy material. It's like, it's not tulle, it's not gauze, but it's in the same family. It closes with hook and eye in the front. As I said, I opened the collar so you could see the pearls. And I do believe, because it is so light, you really are not meant to tuck this in. The pants are going to close and open in the front with hook and eye. And there is a zipper. It's a pleated front. The pockets are real, in the front at least. Does he have? He does have back pockets. I'm not sure if you can really get. Let me see. Yep, you can't put much in there, but they are real. And if you notice, there is that exaggerated cuff that will push, that allows you to see the shoe. And if you rolled it down, if you roll the cuff down, I think the pants would almost be too long on either a home or anybody else. The sneakers are clear. He's wearing just slightly off-white socks. Most of the sneaker is clear, but the sole and the tip are white, the same material as you would see on any white sneaker. It's definitely got that lift to it. When you say that he did not get the attention the ladies received, what do you mean by that? I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm just wondering, what do you mean by he did not get the attention the ladies received? He's certainly not. I was expecting that with this would come some sort of accessory like a duffel bag or something, or maybe even a scarf, but he didn't come with much. He just came with his clothes. And the attention he has gotten lately has been people wanting to make him over, which is not something I think is the attention you're supposed to be getting when you have a figure like this. Now, here's the interesting thing. Here's his gloves. I'm holding one up because I want you just to get... There are two, and they're both flat-handed. These are the gloved hands. They are seafoam blue, and they are fuzzy. This is... Yeah, well, I'll come back to the ladies in a second, Bill. This is a seafoam blue, a seafoam green. They're fuzzy. It's like the fuzzy that you would have on the inside of a cheap jewelry box. I don't mean to be that vulgar, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's like the felt fuzzy that you would have inside of a cheap jewelry box, except in those cases they're usually like a dark blue or a red or a black. This is seafoam blue or green. And no, I mean, the ladies of NuFace tend to be fabulous. I mean, the ladies tend, and they've done better jobs with the home before, and they will again. In the mail, coming up, the Poppy Parker mail dolls, who are evidently going to be part of that extended lottery thing. They look great, and they come with a lot of accessories, and there's a lot of detail to them. Since this is just introducing Thiago, I guess they maybe just wanted to go with, on the one hand, they wanted to go with a simple look, but on the other hand, if it's a simple look, why does he have that much jewelry? Why does he have this? So I was kind of confused by that, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be that kind of confused. So there you go. So that's it, folks. That is the show tonight. That is the folks. Let me try one more time to see if I can get Thiago on his stand. But if there's anybody, it is very confusing. I know, and I think that, and I know that probably has a lot to do with the, what's the word I want? It has a lot to do. Yeah, this is not going to go on. And I don't have an extra stand here. So maybe what I'll do is I'll do something really cutesy. Here you go. This is probably a very bad idea, but let's see if it'll work. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. That's working. So, I mean, yeah, you have these very lovely ladies, and then you have the introduction of Thiago, and it's sort of like, wah, wah, wah. Hello, hello, fashion royalty lover. How are you? You came in just at the end. I've just finished reviewing everybody. Fashion royalty lover, do you have a question? Do you have a question, comment, or otherwise? Um, do you have a question or a comment, or do you want me to like point something out or talk about something real fast? Hey, Steph. Oh, it's Stephanie. Oh my God, Steph, you missed it all. I reviewed everybody. I see. Well, the two highlights are I seem to have gotten lucky with Thiago because I don't. The good news is I got a Thiago that does not have messed up hair. The bad news is the stand does not work, which is why him and Navia are sharing a stand. So it's very. I was not in love with the stands. But as always, since this is a live video, but I do have to address the people who are going to be watching this on playback. This is, of course, what do you do? Do you get this? So let me go first to Navia. Navia is a relatively small edition. I have 569 of 1,000. Uh, um, the issue. What were the issue? The glove. His gloves are supposed to be like fuzzy gloves. His gloves are supposed to be fuzzy gloves, and they're like the seafoam blue, which goes with nothing on his ensemble. I said it kind of reminded me of like what goes in like a cheap jewelry box. The issues with his hair are some people do not like the cut. I mean, obviously, it's a razor cut at the top of his head, and some people felt like they had very sloppy cuts. I did not have that very sloppy cut of hair. So, the Adele, okay, so the the long story short on Navia is she's gorgeous, lots of product in her hair, so that's going to be like hard to wash out. The dress is interesting. The dress, you have to keep playing with it for modesty's sake. These are dolls; they don't care. But the dress is very interesting because it's period correct, but you also have to keep playing with the cut of it because the shoulders will fall back, and you have to sort of keep readjusting it to look right. Otherwise, the shoes were really easy to get on for once with the straps because usually they're not. She does have a wacky hat. It's plastic. They could have just given us the netting and it would have been fine, but they decided to include this like wacky plastic. Like, yes, you can upscale this and turn it into a salad bowl for your fashion. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, this is the secret plan. You can actually upscale it and turn it into a salad bowl for your 1/6 scale kitchens. It's plastic. It's weird. I mean, they've certainly done it before where they've given us just the tool and it's been fine. And then you just put like a hairpin in it and it's fine. It actually fits her face a lot better without this. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's period correct. It's cute. It's cute as cereal. It's cute as. Are you trying to say it's cute as cereal? I guess. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's cute as a cereal bowl. That's about it. It's cute as a cereal bowl. That's about it. But yeah, plastic. And that's pretty much the only plastic that, I mean, for once that's the only plastic we have here. Everything else is pretty solid. And you have the Adele. You have the Adele, so you know that the boots are insane. You know that the boots are metal and that they are insane. So you know that. I finally figured out. When talking about Thiago, I did finally figure out why this throws me off, and it's because his corset, and of course it's hook and eye. So the great bane of all of us, the hook and eye. We hate you, hook and eye. Oh yes, we do. We hate you, hook and eye. We are through. When you are near to us, we're blue. Hook and I, we hate you. But besides the bad singing, it's like you see this. You're expecting this to be like a vest collar, and it's not a vest. When you put it on Thiago, it goes mid waist. So you have this thing that looks like it's supposed to be a shawl collar, and um, it's just ridiculous. You know what? I'll be honest. I did break the bottom strap getting her foot through on the right foot. I broke the right strap, and I'm pretty sure the second one is going to come too. So I did break one too. Um, them and straps are issues. I mean, I'm just glad I got the boots on without too much drama. I don't know what's up with this drink. If you're gonna get Navia, you're going to get her basically for the body. This is a NuFace. It's a NuFace doll, but it is also a NuFace design. It's a nice sculpt. As I said, it really is an attempt to differentiate between Japanese, Chinese, and Vietnamese, who Navia is supposed to be. She's Vietnamese. So I would get her just for the paint because it's very 1920s, and because it's 1920s, you could immediately throw her in with the East 59th Street Gang. Like, you could almost have her be a mentor to Victoire, and then Victoire mentors Evelyn. So if you wanted to recreate the story that way, you could do that. Bill very smartly said this reminded him of Anime Wong, and I thought maybe that's very interesting that this might be a little acknowledgement that, in fact, they are aware of Mizi, they're aware of her Anime Wong, their version of Anime Wong, and they wanted to sort of remind them that Daddy's home. Well, that kind of works, and it kind of doesn't, because the face is great, the dress is not so much. The dress is great for like a Halloween costume, but it doesn't go much further than that. So this is Adele's, by the way. Adele's card. I have 858 of 1500. If you get Adele, this Adele of the three. Adele is the three that you can. Adele is the three that you can take all the pieces and piece it out and redress them. I mean, this cape is so ridiculous in its lushness. You could absolutely 1000% like pair that with any sort of a purple sheath, a black sheath, even address the Merlot color of Navia, because you have that Merlot detailing in the embroidery. So you could definitely repair this. The jewelry is everywhere. The jewelry is also a little bit retro, so you could have this both as a retro necklace, or it works with Adele. This is a piece that can go everywhere. The earrings can go everywhere. The purse is not, like I was saying, the only thing was like why is this green? Yeah. She's different from Anime Mizi. She's the face is thinner, the body is thinner. The face and body are thinner than the Anime Mizi, but it's a different version of anime, but you can definitely see where they're both anime. Adele is the one you get, and then you have all of the replay possibilities with her dress, with her cape, with her accessories, all of it. That's the one that's easiest that you can replay and share clothes with. The thing is, the Adele body, the hair is so definitive. It's very hard to redo that hair. I have not seen anybody like actually redo it. And then we have Thiago, who's very nicely holding Navia. I'm trying to get the look. I'm trying to understand this. I'm old, so I'm 46 years old. So maybe that's the problem. I'm too old to get this. But it's like I get that everything costs money, and you don't want to spring for a shirt, especially when you are going to cover the shirt with this. So maybe this is the modesty that instead of putting the undershirt under, you put it over. I don't know. I do not know. The shirt is cool. It's like a lilac. I like it. The trousers, again, on camera look like khaki, but they're actually like gray. And I think you can undo the cuffs, but I wouldn't because it would make the pants too long. But the pockets are all real and they work. It's just, it's interesting, but it's like, what's this? I mean, it's a great trench, but it's like, hi, I'm the members only trench. And I can say that because I know right now the people watching this, they know who members only is. Yeah, that's exactly what the collar and cuffs reminded me of. I knew it was something and it was driving me nuts. Members only. It's like suddenly we went back to the 80s, and instead of like, grabbing something useful like the music, they grabbed the trench coat, the members only trench coat. Why? I mean, it's nice. It's got the, I mean, it's a proper trench coat with the venting in the back and everything, but why? Just why? I do not know. So that's the three of them. That is the three of them. By the way, he was. Oh, I actually got a high end. This is like a high end for me. 1897 out of 2000. So, and I think you could pretty much guess. I mean, surprise. This is Jesse. Surprise. Thiago is Jesse. This is Adele is Mark Adele is Mark Tinkey. Tinkay. We'll say Tinkay. And the Meteor is Vaughn Sawyers. So you know that Vaughn can do the classics really well. And honestly, I think they need to put Vaughn back on Fashion Royalty and take Jesse off. Give Jesse NuFace, give him NuFantasty, give him Meteor, give Fashion Royalty, and give the homes, whatever you want to call them, Monarch, Home, whatever. Give them to Vaughn. That's if they're letting Vaughn out of his apartment wherever he is in China. Does he live in Shanghai or does he live somewhere else? I know he lives in China half the year. Do either of you know if he's in Shanghai or is he somewhere else? I don't know. I know it wasn't Wuhan. If he was in Wuhan, I think we would have known that 2 years ago. So, folks, I've been talking for an hour, and I'm pretty sure eventually people are going to want to watch this on replay. So that's it for me. I think my next review, I have a literal ton of action figures to go through. I have they're obviously not called these people because they are off market. But I have a Christian Bale, American Psycho. I have Jim Carrey. Oh God, what was the movie he did where he was the star of a reality show, but he didn't know it? I have a Jim Carrey figure that's from that movie, that's modeled after that movie. I have a Morgan Freeman from Batman that I'm going to do. And I think that's it. I think that's the four. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. The Truman Show. Thank you, Stephanie. The big set that I have that I'm also going to do is, and I'm not sure if I really want to promote this because I do have mixed emotions about the movie The Godfather. I did get that gift set of Marlon Brando as the older Don Corleone from The Godfather. It came with a whole bunch of accessories I wanted. I like the clothes. Like I said, I'm Sicilian American. I have very deep and mixed emotions about The Godfather. So you're gonna hear. So if you just want to hear me like be ambivalent, you want to hear what I sound like when I'm ambivalent, go ahead and see that review. But I'm going to end things here. Thanks, Steph. Thanks, Bill, for hanging. I hope everybody's doing well. And to everybody else who is watching this on replay, I hope you are having a good night and I hope you're enjoying yourselves. And I will see you all in my next review. I'm probably going to do Pierce Brosnan first because it's Pierce and we love him and he's gorgeous and he needs to get all the love. And I will see you all soon. There'll also be a return to Miniature Mondays too. So keep praying for Ukraine, everybody. Have a good night. Take care and bye-bye.